Welcome back to part 3 of our 2-acre pond building series. If this is your first time watching, make sure to check out our description to catch up on our journey.
In the last part, we started digging the pond, with us clearing all the topsoil and carving out the keyway so that we could start compacting it with lean clay.
Well, that was the plan, until our worst fears were realized.
As we were nearing the completion of the keyway, our contractor texted us with some bad news. Good morning, sir. We're making good progress on the excavation of the pond, but we have encountered an extreme amount of rock on the dam side. It's not a huge deal, but we'll need bentonite to make sure this pond seals around the rocks.
This may not sound bad, but if we don't fix this now, the rocks in the keyway trenches will create catastrophic cracks, allowing water to get in and destroy our pond.
The problem is, now we're bringing in special clay, and this will cost us around $7,000.
This is devastating for us because we knew if we encountered rock or needed to bring in clay, it would make the build even more expensive.
But it's better to do the investment now, instead of fixing it later. So we'll be bringing in the bentonite.
However, before we could get it here, Mother Nature had other plans.
Good evening and welcome. When this week began, hardly anyone was talking about a storm named Helene. Tonight, it's all anyone is talking about.
The leftover storm from Hurricane Helene came up to Kentucky and dumped rain for 11 days, making it unsafe to work on it until it was fully dried. If only we got that kind of rain when the pond was actually finished.
But as soon as the sky finally cleared up, we had to prepare the site for a shipment of bentonite and our 2 new pieces of equipment, the dozer and the compactor.
The first step was to muck out all the muddy dirt out of the pond site so we don't trap water while compacting and ruin our dam.
Okay, so the past couple days we had some harsh rain, so we were working on mucking out the keyway along the sides here and then along the back to get it ready for the bentonite. We're still waiting on the bentonite. Hopefully that'll be here sometime early next week. But for now, what we're working on the past couple days is shaping the top side, and that's what Benny's doing right now on the loader, just kind of getting our bowl shape developed up here, and then we're just kind of stripping along the top and piling it up on the inside of the keyway so that once we get that bentonite put in and compacted, we can start to backfill it and then start building up our dam. So that's what we're working on right now.
Once that was done, we decided to start shaping the front of the bowl of the pond. This involves using the loader to dig the right depth and then dispersing the dirt around, making the bowl shape.
After several days of mucking out the pond, moving dirt downhill, and shaping the bowl, I think we're finally seeing a glimpse of what our pond will look like when we're done. But with the site ready to go, our dozer, compactor, and bentonite had finally arrived so we can start reinforcing our keyway.
The first step was to cut open the bags of bentonite and pour it into the keyway.
We're trying to maximize the strength of this dam by pouring the bentonite into the inner ring of the trench.
Putting the bentonite in doesn't look like a whole lot, but it is supposed to expand 3,000 times its size. So every little granule, it's about the size of a piece of sand, will be 3,000 times its size. And then when the water hits it, the water pressure will force the powder through the cracks, and then it expands as it's going through, and that's what helps seal the dam.
After we place it into the Keyway, we'll use the loader to push the lean clay into the trench and then use our new dozer to spread the clay across the surface. Once that's done, we can use the compactor to tightly compact the bentonite and lean clay together.
And then the process repeats until the whole Keyway is filled back in. After several days of compacting bentonite and lean clay into the Keyway, our pond has a sturdy foundation to start building the dam and shaping more of the bowl. It's crazy to think that this project started almost 3 months ago and it changed so drastically from an overgrown field to an almost complete pond.
So make sure to like, subscribe, and hit that bell so you can be notified on the next part of this pond series.